How's it going, guys? My name is Jack, and today I'm going to be showing you how to use the Wildflower ceramic pour over set. This also will work for what they call a V60 set, or anything that kind of has this similar cone shape. Alright, so there's a couple of things that you need before you start. Firstly, of course, you need your pour over set. You're going to need filters for it, paper filters. If you bought this one off us, it will come with 40 size 1 filters that'll fit in there perfectly. You'll need a set of scales just to keep a track of what you're doing, some ground coffee and water, of course. And I'm just going to use a regular jug today because this tutorial is how to make a great cup of coffee without kind of getting right into the whole art of it and, you know, going really deep, which I really encourage you guys to do. But to start off, you've got to start somewhere. So nearly everyone has a kettle at home, you've got access to water, and hopefully you've just grabbed yourself one of these kits and you are ready to go. Alright, so there's a couple of things that you need to know just before we kick off, and that is that this coffee that you're making is only made up of two things. It's made up of water and coffee. So if you can get yourself the best quality water that you can find, if you've got access to a filter, and if you can get yourself some good quality coffee, then that is going to make your coffee so much better in the end. You have to remember that it is 98% water plus whatever coffee you put into it. So great water, great coffee. That's the best tip to start off. All right, the first thing you're going to do is boil your water. I'm going to get this boiling now, and I'm going to cut the camera and come back in a second because it's going to make a lot of noise. All right, for those of you guys taking notes at home, there's two things that you want to know about making these coffees. That is that you want to have hot water as well, and you want to do it all quite fast. You don't want anything to take too long, or you're going to end up with a really bitter taste. It's also really important to get your coffee grinds right. Now, I can't tell you exactly how to grind your coffee, so this is going to be one of those things that you're going to have to play with a little bit yourself, but you want basically like a medium grind. If you've got settings, set it to about the middle and then maybe go a little bit more on the coarser side rather than the finer side, and then you can kind of work your way back if you need to slow the process down just a little bit. Alright, so very first thing we're going to do, the filter is in there, and we're just going to pour a little bit of hot water straight over the top of it, and what that's doing is basically just giving that filter a bit of a clean, and it's taking that papery taste out of your coffee. That's all it's really doing, is just making sure that you don't end up with a bit of papery taste in your coffee in the end. Alright, so next up, as a bit of a general rule, for every litre of coffee that you're making, you want to use 60 grams of beans. So today in this guy, we're going to be making half a litre of coffee. So I've got 30 grams of beans already ground out, and I'm just going to put them straight in like this. And then I'm just going to give it a nice little squish around to flatten it out. Just like that, and now that is ready to go. Beans are in the top. Now, like I said, you want to keep this water hot, and what we're going to do is the very first pour over, which is called the bloom phase. There's going to be 2 pours, and this is the first one. Now, what you want to do is you want to put twice the amount of water in as to the coffee. So remember, we put 30 grams of coffee in. Now we want to put in 60 grams of water, and this is where it's going to be really handy for you to have a scale if you've got one, because you can put your pour over set on here, and you can actually measure that 60 grams of water to start off. So with super hot water, I'm just going to work my way around the outside with my kettle, just slowly going around, and I'm looking at the scales here to get to 60 grams. That's my goal. I'm just doing circles here until we get, that's 40, that's 50, and that's 60 there. So now we're just going to let that sit for a second. You want that to last about 30 to 45 seconds. And then once that's gone through, you can start on your next pour. And you basically want to pour out the rest of your coffee and keep an eye on your scales. But you want to pour out the rest of this coffee over about a minute. So you don't have to do it all in one go necessarily, but you do want to just have like a nice consistent pour, just like this. So once you've poured the rest of your water in, you're wanting this to basically last as a total from when you started pouring about another minute. So the whole thing is really taking you about 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes max. If you find it's going through too fast, then you might need to make your grind a little bit less coarse. And if you find that it's taking a long time to get through, then for one, you'll end up with a really strong and bitter coffee, and you're gonna have to coarsen up that grind a little bit. That grind is actually something that you will just work out over time what is right for you, what works with your grinder. You might have a hand grinder or a plug-in one, but really you just want to work out how to get that kind of 1.5 to 2 minutes complete extraction. All right, now all that water has gone through now. It is all poured out, you can see, and we have the good coffee in the bottom here ready to go. We can pour the good stuff straight into our Wildflower insulated cup, and it's going to stay hot and delicious all day. And that is how you make a pour over coffee. Now, I just want to say, like I said at the start, this is a method that's going to work in general. You can get right into the details, and like I said, I really encourage you to refine and improve your tools and improve your methods over time and find the one that works best for you. You know, you'll work out different coffees have different tastes, and you know, experiment with different things to make it work. I really encourage you guys to jump on YouTube and have a look at some other videos of other people showing you how it works. But for now, this is a way that in general will make you a really great cup of coffee. This is the starting blocks where you can make a great coffee, but then just make it better and better and better every single time. Learn more and continue to drink awesome, amazing black coffee. Now, just a couple of things to recap that are really, really important, just in case you forgot. You want to have 60 grams of coffee per litre of water. You want your water to be hot. You want to work at high temperatures the whole time. You want your whole process to be about 1.5 to 2 minutes total coming through. You want to be using filtered quality water, because remember, that's like 98% of your coffee. And you want to be using the best quality and the best tasting beans that you possibly can as well. So hopefully that helped you guys out. Hopefully you learned something from that, and you can now make yourself an amazing, amazing pour over coffee. And trust me, the more you make, the better you'll get at it. And man, you can deep dive into these things so far. So far, it is like an artwork for some people, and I love it. It's amazing. But thank you so much for watching, guys. Hopefully you guys learned something, and this enables you to make just a really great coffee, and this is just like the best start that you can get to your pour over career in the future. Thanks so much, guys.